Councillor Kit-Kat.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to our Labour colleagues for working with us on this. 11th of December 1990 was when John Major privatised the area electricity boards. 18 years have passed and neither Conservative nor Labour governments have protected the poorest from prepay surcharges. Clearly, utility companies can afford to cut these charges, and action is long overdue. This affects, as my colleague has said, the poorest of our citizens, those on the smallest incomes, those receiving benefits or pensions or on the minimum wage and no more. These people have no choice but to use prepay meters, and I am outraged that they continue to be billed at higher prices than those more able to afford it using billed metering. Energy Watch, before they were abolished, found that prepaid customers were paying £567 more than those using internet tariffs. That's a 42% difference every year than the more affluent people who can access the internet. The Independent found very recently that these electricity utilities charge 10 times more of these customers than they give back in so-called social tariffs. These social tariffs are poorly publicised and difficult to access, and the National Energy Action Group call them random acts of patronage. The LGA found that the big six utilities in 2007 paid their shareholders an extra £257 million in dividends. That was a 19% increase on the previous year, equivalent to £75 per household. That puts the new Labour government actions and money into perspective, I think. We know that the utilities can afford to change. It is an utter failure of conscience that these energy firms have left these surcharges in place for so long. Clearly, corporate social responsibility still has a long way to go. But, even worse, it is a huge regulatory failure that the governments of John Major, Tony Blair and now Gordon Brown have not taken action. They had 18 years in which to do something, and they didn't once find the time merely to require pricing per unit to be the same, regardless of the type of meter used. Perhaps they were too busy privatising public services, like the trains, or parts of the NHS, or now, believe it or not, Royal Mail. The National Housing Federation says that 1 million plus people in fuel poverty would benefit from removing these surcharges. 1 million people. Change is not beyond the realm of possibility within our United Kingdom. Solutions already exist. In Northern Ireland, prepaid customers already receive a 2.5% discount compared to those on meters. And they can top up by phone 24 hours a day, which is very helpful for disabled people, for example, who in England still have to go out to a local shop and charge their keys. National Energy Actions say that 5.4 million households are in fuel poverty, and incredibly, more than 1,000 people a day are forced into using a prepay meter, have their old meter removed and a prepay one forcibly installed due to debt they have built up with the energy companies. This is a growing crisis, and for Ed Miliband to only threaten action is quite astonishing. And on that basis, the Green Group will be supporting the Tory amendment. The utilities have had 18 years to act. No more second chances. We demand immediate action now, today, and we urge you to vote for this motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much.